Jay and Megan got that heat.
Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive. Welcome back.
Would you look at that?
Welcome back to the
You caught me mid-dance on my shoulders.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive podcast. My name is Jay.
I'm Megan.
And we are the Loyal and Assertive ones. So today we're going to hop right in. But before we do, I have to give you a warning.
Yes.
It's going to be a trigger warning. This is going to be like a audio advisory. What do you call them things? Listening advisory? What do you call it? Like a parental advisory? Okay, it's not a parental advisory. A listening advisory. You know what I'm saying? Guard your ears, you know? Or in the words of the devil wears Prada, gird your loins.
Oh, my
Amen?
goodness.
All right. Today, we're going to talk about a lot of things that's probably going to make a lot of people mad. But this is what I do. Okay, so we're going to start with a new segment that we're calling a therapy moment. This is your therapy moment with Jay. Are you ready? Because it's going to be fun. Here is what I want to say to you. It's you. I know that you're going to therapy because of other people, but it's really you. You're the...
You're the problem.
Okay? I'm so sorry. I can't even take myself seriously. Here's what I mean. Obviously, there are things that we all deal with that are related to and we have been impacted by other people.
Yes.
But one of the things that I think is not happening in our day, I feel like therapy is promoted as an other people's issue. Meaning, you go to therapy because somebody hurt you. You go to therapy because somebody offended you. You go to therapy because somebody caused trauma in your life. You go to therapy because of your childhood. You know what I mean? And I think that all of those things are valid. What I don't be hearing people to say though is like, I go to therapy because I'm a problem.
Right.
As if that's not why therapy also exists. And I do think it's important that we all take a moment to evaluate ourselves and see like, hey, where may I be hurting my wife? Where may I be hurting my child? Where may I be hurting my friends or
Yourself.
loved ones? Myself. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Where may I be the one that's like, I'm the one actually inflicting harm? And where do I need to be therapized? You know what I'm saying? So.
Because I think we do that with everything else. We take our car to be maintenance regularly, serviced regularly. We go to a checkup. We've been doing this since we were, born. We go to the doctors on a regular basis, not because we're sick, although we do that, but we also go regularly to make sure that we're healthy. Why don't we do the same thing for our emotions and our mental state?
That was a really great way to put that.
Thanks.
You're welcome. It's you, though, sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's you all the time. I do recognize many of us, and I'm including myself in this category because I have a story too, have dealt with a lot of trauma, a lot of traumatic events. By the way, in therapy, those are two different things. Having experienced trauma is separate from a traumatic event. Talk to your therapist about that because I'm not one. But I do think it's also important to recognize when you are the problem. Here's a great way to ask a question. How are you experiencing me? Mm-hmm. Ask anybody in your life that question, and what you're going to find out is you got some problems too. So today, I just want to remind you that it's you.
And then sometime in the future, I'm going to replay this episode back for you.
And tell me it's me.
I love you.
Listen,
But I love you.
it do be me. I am not unaware of that. I know that
You're
I have
right.
lots of problems. Nah, so for real, I just think that make sure as you're on your journey in therapy that you take some time to talk about you too. You talk about what you're contributing to the world and to your relationships. I just think that's important. You think that's good?
I do.
You got anything else you want to say?
Nope.
All right, cool. Next up, wild thoughts. Okay, I got like 3 on. So
We're going to start with this first one, though.
I think so. You think I should?
Can we say again that most of these wild thoughts come from your brain?
Okay.
And that I don't necessarily... What is the caption that comes across some... like... The opinions.
Yeah, the views represented in this do not necessarily relate to the people who made the product.
Right.
Like, but you filmed them though, so then the views do. Interesting. So this one is gonna be interesting. but I do have an explanation behind what I mean. So I'm going to start by saying this. I am not a man who loves sports. There's a lot of reasons why that's a thing. I think one of the biggest reasons is I just wasn't raised to love sports. I just didn't have that environment around me. Here's my wild thought. Sports is for men who ain't got nothing to say.
Now explain.
Here's what I mean. All of my fellas that's out there, y'all know how this goes. So when you meet another dude, you talk about one of two things. What you do for work, which we talked about on a previous episode, which I do have a problem with that because I think it's just to reduce people down to what they do. And I know that's whatever. But and then you talk about your favorite sports team or lack thereof. You talk about somebody else's favorite sports team. My issue is this. It's not that people shouldn't love sports. I think you should absolutely love sports if that's what you want to love. I think it's not that I don't want people to love their job. Here's my issue with men. My issue with men is when I say that they don't have nothing else to say, I'm finding that what happens in a social situation is that men choose whatever the easiest thing that they can find to spark a conversation, and then they just talk about that thing for forever. The problem that I have with that, and the reason why I say that that's for men that ain't got nothing to say, is because I think as a grown man, you should actually be able to hold a conversation about anything and nearly everything. And I have a problem that we just default to sports or job as if that has everything to do with summing up my whole person. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. I'm a father. I already said that. I'm about
You're
to say
a dad
sister.
and a father.
I'm about to say a sister.
How about an uncle? Let's go with uncle.
Yes, I'm an uncle. I'm a friend. Yo, like you could actually engage me from a lot of different angles.
Right.
And I think that women probably do a better job at that. Like I think y'all do a better job at. I feel like women always got this radar like, and then it'd be like, let me figure out how I can talk to her. Oh, it's this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just feel like sometimes dudes don't be doing that, and it bothers me. So I think sports is for men who ain't got nothing to say, and I said what I said.
So the only pushback I would give you, because I think what you're saying, there's accuracy to it. Mm-hmm. I just would say that I don't think it comes down to the fact that they don't have anything to say.
They don't.
I think it comes down to men don't relate to each other very well. Mm-hmm. And I think in a lot of ways men haven't been taught how to relate to each other. Yeah. So I don't think it's a matter of that they don't have anything to say.
They have not been taught to relate to each other in a particular kind of way.
Yes, very surface level. And I think that's the issue that you have with the sports conversation and the vocation conversation is that it ends up...
So sorry.
It ends up being very surface level. Mm-hmm. And so I think men traditionally have not done a good job of fostering close, intimate relationships with other men.
Yeah, and I do think I'm weird in some senses as a man. I don't think it should be weird, but I do think I am weird as it relates to what is, I guess, just kind of normal in our society. I am naturally a man that likes to dive deep. I want to know all the stuff, you know what I'm saying? Now, not all the time. I'm definitely like a man in the sense of like, what did you just do?
It disconnected, so I just hit
Lord.
okay. It's
okay,
fine.
well, we're still filming. Yeah, like I think that I'm definitely not a man. I don't want to hear all your feelings all the time. I mean, she knows that. My kids know that. But I don't always just want to talk about superficial, surface level stuff. Because that gets boring to me, and it's actually annoying to me as well. So, sports is for men who ain't got nothing to say. I'm just going to say it again because...
Whatever.
That's what I think. So,
yeah.
Any other thoughts?
No.
All right. Here's a question. Another wild thought. Who in the world invented daylight saving time? I'm going to tell you what I think. I hope that I can connect to this without messing up the camera. There we go. Okay. I think the man, because I'm sure it was a man, that invented daylight saving time was a person who had too much time on their hands. I don't understand how you restructure time. You're like, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to move it an hour back. And then you know what we're going to do in a few months? We're going to move it an hour forward. What the heck is the point of that?
So I was always taught, and I don't actually think that this is accurate, so I will say that up front, but I was taught that it had to do with farmers.
Boo.
Who needed more daylight to be able to plant and all of those things.
Sorry. Wait.
But I don't know if that's... I don't know if
okay.
that's accurate.
So So you need more daylight. I'm just gonna go off of your premise that you set up here. So you need more daylight. So let's move the whole clock for everybody in America. Minus some people. Let's move the whole clock. Hold on. Let's move the clock for everybody in America rather than wake up early or stay up later.
It's not just America.
Who is it for?
The world.
The whole world don't do daylight saving time.
It's not every country.
But that is even a bigger issue.
It is an issue. I agree.
How?
But also,
why?
It wouldn't surprise me if it started in Europe.
I can't. I just don't. I don't. Why?
I'm sure that there's an answer, and now I want to Google why. I do want to Google and understand.
I just be feeling like people got too much time on their hands. The daylight saving time thing really drives me crazy. I mean, it grinds my gears.
But I do think, because it's been around for so long, I think it has to do with a lot of the fact that, like, we have technology now. We have things now where, like, it doesn't matter if it goes dark at a certain time and then it's like we have things.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is, hundreds of years. And I think at one point it probably did make people's lives easier.
Okay, well, now you're complicating mine. Okay? But no, well, that's not necessarily so complicated no more because cell phones and stuff, they change.
They do
with the time.
Yes,
it's just stupid.
Do you know who I think suffers the most? New parents.
Oh God, yes.
When you're a new parent and it's daylight savings time and your kids don't understand that, your babies don't understand it, it's awful.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Daylight savings time is stupid. I think it was invented by somebody who had too much time on their hands. That's all I've got to say. For the farmers out there, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
I don't think that's accurate. I want to go on record to say again. I don't think it's accurate.
Farmers, I love you. It's still stupid. So there's that. Okay, this is my last wild thought for the day. I have more of them, but I'm just not going to share them all today. I think social media is making us hate people. I think social media it seems to have been created to bring us together. And I think it is doing that, but I feel like what I see more than not now is it just makes us hate people. And maybe it's not it makes us hate people more. I think we already hated people. I think it has opened up a space for people to just openly spew their hate at all times.
Yes.
I think when I'm thinking about this, I'm not even just talking about like the big, like high level hate. I think for a person to go onto somebody's page or even to have so on Instagram, we've done reels and stuff like that. And so they show it to a lot of people.
Right.
To take the time to be to say something dumb. Here's my thing. Even if I thought the thought, why? I don't even know you. Why do I even care to take the time to be so mad? Then that'd be my thing too. People be so mad about stuff that literally has nothing to do with their lives whatsoever. They don't know these people. These people don't care about them. They just angry.
Yes.
And so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I do think that social media as a tool could really be a good thing. I'm bringing it up because I just don't want to hate people. I don't want to hate white people. I don't want to hate black people. I don't want to hate Hispanic people. I don't want to hate Islanders. I don't want to hate Asian people. What's the rest of the people on the planet? All the rest of the people on the planet. I don't want to hate them. I don't. And I think that what I see is I feel like you have two different lanes in social media. I feel like you have all the happy-go-lucky, fun, comedy, enjoy yourself, be entertained stuff of the world.
Yep.
And then I think you have the opposite extreme of let's get people riled up. You know what I'm saying? And it's life is hard enough, yo. I don't need another reason to be mad at people about something.
Yeah, I think what social media has done for people is it has taken away, I don't know what the term is. I don't want to use common sense, but this common decency, common courtesy. I think that's what is taken away. When you're face to face with somebody and you think their hair looks a mess,
What's hair?
Their hair looks a mess. You don't say that to them.
Yes.
When you're behind a screen and you see somebody whose hair looks a mess and you don't know them, you feel like you can say it.
Yo, I want y'all to write this down. Those of you who are listening, those of you who are watching, this time to take notes. I think that social media has given us filters for our face and removed all the filters from our mouths.
For real. Because I think what happens is, in most cases, they don't have any ramifications.
Yes.
Like if you're face to face with somebody,
perceived ramifications.
Correct. But you are doing damage to the person on the other side.
Yes.
Whether you know it or not, you are doing damage.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how strong that person is, you're doing damage to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, you know, for those of you who subscribe to our YouTube channel, well, for those of you who are watching our other YouTube channel, J&M, go ahead and subscribe if you have not. It's crazy to me that I have to not show my kids comments.
Yes.
And not that we even get a lot, but like, I just didn't even start down the path of showing them comments, even though they want to see it, just because I don't want to acknowledge stupidity. I think maybe as they get a little bit older, I'll probably walk down that way with them. But
right.
I just think it's crazy. I think it's crazy how comfortable people are, to your point, with sharing stuff that they wouldn't even share in person.
Yeah.
I am very much the person that who I am online is very much who I am in person. I ain't never made I'm making crazy statements here. I would very much say that to somebody's face.
Right. Right.
Anybody who knows me to know that Jay just be out here saying stuff, and the reality for me is I actually believe the stuff that I be saying most of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I don't do drama. Meaning, if I have an issue with you, I'm gonna come talk to you. I'm not gonna come talk to you with a group of people around.
Right.
I'm not gonna try to put you on blast and do all the stuff that makes for a lot of drama. I'm just gonna have a conversation with you. I'm not gonna have a conversation behind your back. I'm not gonna talk to somebody else about you. If I am gonna talk to somebody else about you, I'm gonna tell them the same thing that I already said to you. And so I just think that we are in a world where that kind of stuff is acceptable.
Yeah, I think we just need to ask the question is this beneficial before you even say anything? Mm-hmm. Like, I think if you're scrolling and you see something that you don't agree with, the question is this going to be beneficial if I tell the person I don't agree? Like, what are you trying to get from that?
Yeah, I think that's important too.
Like, I don't understand. And sometimes it is a conversation. Hey, like, why did you say that? I don't know that I understand, or I don't, like, maybe it is a conversation, but like a direct, like, you're wrong, start name calling, how is that beneficial to anybody? I don't.
Yeah, I just think I wish that we were more of a society that actually wants reconciliation.
Yes.
I think that I know that the name of the game is we want equality, but I wish we wanted reconciliation. Yeah. Not just equality.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean that on the racial standpoint. I mean that across the board. Yeah. I feel like with all the issues, whether that's sexism, racism, classism, all of the stuff. Yeah, man. Like, I wish what we were pursuing was reconciliation, but I feel like we're not even in a place where, like, if I had an issue with her as a white woman and she has an issue with me as a black man, that we can even come to a place where it's like, yo, we can reconcile. Right. More so now it's just like, y'all should hate each other. And then once that's done, be done. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just don't think that's the way life is supposed to be. So that's that on that. Social media is making us hate people. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Comment below if you think, you know what I'm saying? If you are listening to the podcast, go to YouTube and comment below. I just want to know. I really do feel like that's the thing. So. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Parenting hacks.
Parenting hacks.
We're talking parenting hacks. Should I say this one?
No, I completely agree with this.
Listen. Okay, you tell them. Go.
All right. Parenting hack. You should tell your kids that they're not good at something that they're not good at. Like, if they're not good at it. Yeah. It is okay to tell them that they're not good at it. You should not lie to your children.
Hashtag no soft parenting over here.
Now, I am not saying to just make fun of your children and to criticize
absolutely make fun of them.
To criticize them for criticizing's sake. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But, like, you should be able to be honest enough with your children to say, hey, maybe that drawing isn't as good as what you think it is. Like, maybe if you really like to draw, maybe we can put you in art classes or show you some YouTube video, like whatever it looks like, for your dynamic. But don't lie to your kids and tell them they're good at something that they're not. Yeah. Because then what you end up with is all those people auditioning on American Idol.
I am dying a slow death with all of this phlegm in my throat. I thought y'all should know that.
You cut me right off.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying that when you lie to your children, that's when you end up with all those people that audition for American Idol that can't sing, that think that they can sing.
Yeah.
That then get made fun of. So.
Not just that, but like people who work in jobs that they probably shouldn't be doing.
That too.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So here's the reason why I brought this up. We, quite some time ago, we had to have a conversation with our youngest two girls, Devin and Chase.
Yep.
And I sat them down, and Devin is older than Chase. And I said, Devin, you're not great at reading. And I said, Chase, you're not great at math. Mm-hmm. I said, but guess why that's good? Devin can help Chase with math, and Chase can help Devin with reading.
Yep.
I am just out on making my kids competition for each other.
Right.
I think that God has given my kids specific talents, specific skills, and things that they are good at to help the next person.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be a competition of I can read better than you and I can do math better than you. No, actually, the reason why God set it up this way is so that you can help each other.
Right.
But I think if you're not honest enough with your child to say, hey, you struggle in this area, then it just makes it difficult for the child to even be able to see it and then know how to actually deal with it and work on it. And the reality is this. When said child goes into the world, their boss is going to tell them. When said child goes into the world, their professor is going to tell them. When said child goes into the world, their spouse is going to tell them. When said child goes into the world, their child is going to tell them, you suck at this thing.
Well, and even their peers will tell them,
yes.
and chances are they're going to hear about it in a not so nice way.
Very true. And I think that, one of the things we do practice around here is constructive criticism. Mm-hmm. One of our children, JL, does not like that whatsoever. She does not think it's constructive. She feels like we're always attacking her.
Yep.
But I just think if you lie to your kids about stuff, because that's what I think it is. I think it's lying. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it prepares them for the real world.
Well, and I think that's the intention that we have even with JL right now is we're probably being a little bit pickier than we normally would be because we want her to learn how to be able to deal with being told that she's wrong here. Mm-hmm. Because inevitably she's going to, in her world, be told that she's wrong in her life.
Yeah.
And so I think like if you don't learn at home, where are you going to learn it? So.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell your kids that they ain't great at everything. You know what I'm saying? By the way, here's what we're not saying. We're not saying not to esteem them where they are good.
Yes.
But something that Megan said very early on in our parenting is your kids are already good at what they're good at.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you celebrate that. You affirm that. Like you do the stuff with that. But you don't do that to the extent that you dismiss the stuff that they really do have problems with and the things they really do struggle with. I think that there will be a lot more healthy adults in this world if their parents or guardians, whoever it was that raised them, would have stopped to say, hey, you're good at this thing, you're not good at this thing. Let's work on the thing that you're not good at because you're already good at the thing that you're good at.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. I think a lot of times we as parents, we focus a lot of energy on the things that our kids are really good at already, but I think we should be intentional to look at the things that, they have growth opportunities.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Megan's favorite one, Workaholics Anonymous.
Who are you talking to?
It's you. It's always you. Are you ready?
Well, every time though. This is every time.
I do it because you hate it, and I love that you hate it. Workaholics Anonymous is where we give advice to people who are workaholics. So, Megan, we're very close to vacation. I won't say how close, but we're so close.
We are close.
And you're still working, and we have not packed. So, Megan.
Yes.
You can turn it around on me, but what advice would you give to somebody who don't know how to shut it down?
I think what I'm learning, and I have to use it like present tense because obviously, is I can let stuff go.
Yes.
And I can trust other people.
Yes, queen. Okay, I did that because Megan hates that I do it because she hates it. So I do it even more because she hates it.
So I think if you have a team around you, which hopefully you do, and you should have, trained people properly, gotten them up to speed, seen what strengths they have, communicated all the information that you need to communicate, all of the things. Like, if you have support in whatever role it looks like, then you should be able to let things go and then let people do the things. I think that's what I'm having to learn is I don't have to put my hands on everything for it to be successful.
Yeah, I agree. And because I myself can be a workaholic as well. So I would say, just not be afraid to give stuff away.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times the control freak in those of us who are workaholics, we just want to be able to kind of manage and do everything the way that we would do it. But it's actually good to give stuff away. If you have the ability to do so, do it. Yep.
I think the one other thing, and I struggle a lot with this, is I need to stop thinking that me giving it to somebody else is a burden. I think that's, some of it, yes, is me wanting my hands on things and to control it. But also a lot of it is just I don't want to inconvenience and burden other people.
Okay. I'm gonna shift segments very quick because she just brought up something that I think is good to talk about.
Okay.
So we're gonna introduce a new segment that's called a self-awareness check-in. This is your self-awareness check-in. Ding. So the question I was gonna ask is like, what are you learning about yourself and what are you seeing in yourself? So I think that go ahead and continue to talk about that.
Yeah. So I just think, very often I think of myself as a burden to other people. And because of that, I try to make other people's lives easier by reducing the amount of whatever that I put on somebody else. So that could look like work at work. It could look like here I could be taking things off of your plate because I think if I put them on, then that's a burden to you. In friendships, it could be not sharing where I'm really at because I don't want to add more stuff to them. I think, all of those things, I naturally view myself as, somebody who brings something to other people in a negative way. And so I try to manage that.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm sure some other people feel like that. That's crazy. Yeah. I think for me, I'm learning that I'm a lot for people. I bring a lot of energy into a relationship. A mentor of mine said to me one time, he said, most people will not be able to absorb you. And that sucked to hear, to be honest with you. Just like that. But what he meant was just like, most people won't be able to take all the energy that you bring into a relationship. And so I think that I am learning to settle that with myself, to settle that is not always an issue with me.
Say that again.
That is not always an issue with me, but that sometimes it's not that I'm too much. It's just that people can't handle and that's a problem with them.
Yep.
They have an issue with handling certain personalities and certain stuff that would come to, I guess, the table of a relationship. I'm a very honest person. I say what I think. The majority of the time, I'm not gracious. I have been not gracious to people, but I've learned a lot over the last, I would say, 15 years of how to be gracious while still being honest with people.
Yeah.
But I'm just learning to realize that it's not me all the time. Sometimes it is, because that's where we started today. It's you. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it really is other people just can't deal, and that's not a reflection on me.
Right.
And that doesn't mean I should completely shift who I am. I do bring a lot of energy. It just is what it is. And so I'm also finding that the people who can absorb me do.
Yes.
My wife is one of those people.
Gladly.
My kids even are those people. And I guess that's par for the course being that they're being raised by me, but I think that even could go another way.
Yeah.
Our best friends are those people. They can actually take all of the energy, whether that's happy energy, sad energy, angry energy, talkative energy, silent energy. They can take all of it when I bring it to the table. And it's actually been a blessing for me that I have people in my life that can actually do that. So, yeah, I'm just becoming more aware of the fact that people do experience a lot when they experience me.
Yeah.
So, that ain't no problem with me at all times. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it is. And I'm learning that freedom looks like that too.
Yes.
Freedom looks like, I sometimes have control of how much energy I bring to the table, and so I'm not going to bring so much to the table for a person who may not be able to manage it. You know what I mean? And that's not about me shifting shadows and changing and becoming different or you acting funny. It's not that. I think it's wisdom.
Yeah.
I think wisdom says some people can take these parts of you, some people can't take these parts of you. And I think it's real freedom to get to choose to be different.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are around. So my encouragement would be ask the question. I know I said this earlier, but ask how people are experiencing you.
Yeah.
She believes that people experience a burden. I don't think that that's true, but I think it's important that she knows that. I think it will be important to ask the people in your life.
Yeah.
Am I a burden to you?
Yeah.
Now here's the thing with self-awareness.
Be prepared to hear.
That's what I'm saying. I think the reason why we don't often practice self-awareness is because on the other end of that, you actually have to hear stuff has to change about you. But change is not a bad thing. Change is a good thing. We always are trying to elevate and level up. So, man, ask the question.
Yeah.
You know
it's worth it. It's worth it.
Very much is.
Yeah.
Yo, thank y'all for joining us.
Yeah.
This was good. That went by so fast.
It did.
Did y'all enjoy it? Clap it up. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, we will see you next time on the Loyal and Assertive Podcast. I am Jay.
I'm Megan. Bye.
We appreciate y'all. Peace out.
Jay and Megan got that heat.
Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive. 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 Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive.